today is Charlie Long, the CEO of Critical Mineral Resources. Following news that the company have indeed commenced that drilling program at their project. So Charlie, thank you very much for joining us. How are you?
Very good, thanks.
Well, it's good to be speaking. Of course, you made a comment with us last week when you were able to announce the name, finally. You talked about having 50 drill pads ready. You want to fast track to resource. You want to spend your money cleverly. And importantly, you said you wanted to keep shareholders updated visually with what's going on the ground and help them to follow the story. So the drilling's kicked off. How's it gone?
Yeah.
Have you had any feedback, first of all?
Well, I've had a few, videos and photographs of core and things like that, which I have to keep to myself, I'm afraid. But all is going well, and I suppose we're thinking, how do we keep the market updated before the first assay results come out? And I'm thinking videos, but also, StockBox interviews as well that can help. But I've got lots of shareholders saying, how are you gonna do this? How are you gonna do that? Because people want to see like photos of core, and and we just need to get the balance right, because ultimately, we want excitement, but we also want to attract a range of different types of investor. So we just want to make sure we're doing things in as professional way as possible.
Indeed. What's the main objective of this program, Charlie? And also, how, just thinking about going through the program, timelines are always difficult, but it's quite an extensive program. How adaptive is it on the way, depending on what you're seeing and what comes up?
Yeah, so I think that it was designed, like we've designed a lot more than 6,000 meters, but the 6,000 meters is probably as much about the sort of business decision, the contract we've got with a local contractor. We don't want to get, to do too many meters that way, because we've got our own rig coming, and then that contractor is going to help us get our rig going as well, put his men on our rig while we train up our own people. So it's all a bit, but at the end of the day, we're looking to be drilling for a long, long time, for months and years, not just for 6,000 meters, assuming that we get good results. But it's definitely a evolving feast, because we are primarily drilling to define, I say primarily, we are 50% drilling to define resources for the initial mine, the 750,000 ton a day, mine plan, which is a sort of fast tracking to production. And then at the same time, probably equally or more importantly, is showing the scale of the resource. And so we need to, we're planning scout drill programs where we'd go 5, 7, 10 kilometers away and do some holes there. As well as getting the balance right between inferred and measured and indicated, so we don't do too many close spacing. But that said, from the first holes, we know that there is variability in the thickness, and it can be quite thick and then quite thin. So you do need to ultimately drill it quite closely, so you know exactly what you're going to be mining. But it's just a sort of, it's an evolving feast. But we're trying to do things as well as we can for, I guess, a return on the capital. And so, inferred resources, okay, they're only inferred, but they're also valuable if we can prove to people that we've got something big. So it's just getting that balance right. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm getting the impression that you have sort of mapped out drill locations, where you're going to go, but that could change and be adaptable depending on how the program's going.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. Good. Be nice to do a bit of a feature with you, looking at those where you've mapped out you want to drill, and we can see what it looks like on a map, for example, and how that program might play out.
Yeah, no, that would be great. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So, when would the next time we can hear from you, do you think? How quickly do you think we might be able to see?
Maybe next week or the week after. We just sort of there's a fair amount going on, and getting people in Morocco to sort of sit down and draw a geological map, or a cross section, let's say, or a long section of, the ore body that we're targeting, is quite key, I think, so people can visualize what it looks like and what we're drilling. So I have asked for that, but I need to sort of remind people, and so just trying to bring the thing to life. And as soon as I've got enough, I guess, material, then let's have another call.
Excellent, good. And you're planning on heading out yourself again? I know you've recently come back.
Yeah, probably at some point this month, towards the end of the month. But fairly regular visits.
Cool. Thank you very much, Charlie Long, CEO of Critical Mineral Resources, for your time.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.